So you've probably heard the Liberal government has plans to legalize cannabis this summer. Now, ahead of that, it added a section of its website on how to talk to teens about drugs. And at the bottom, they added a whole list of slang terms for marijuana. Now, we're gonna go out onto the street and get a sense of just how up on their weed lingo the government is. So what slang terms have you heard of for marijuana?
I've heard grass, weed, and that's about all I know.
Mostly it's just weed, ganja, Mary Jane.
Dope, Mary Jane, tree.
There's reefer, there's bud, chronic, dank,
pot, weed, ganja, kush.
My sister calls it chronic bubonic.
Skunk. This is in the UK.
420.
You know, not being a user myself, I'm pretty limited to my knowledge. I mean, other than what my son tells me, I guess.
Have you ever heard of boom?
Nope.
What about Earl?
Earl? I've never heard of Earl, no.
Have you heard of gangster?
No.
No, never. I've never heard of gangster. No.
Have you heard of butter?
No. Like a weed butter?
Trees.
Didn't know that one.
There's also honeycomb.
Never heard of that.
No. Honeycomb cereal?
Perp.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of dank crippy?
No, I can't. And if you'd asked me, I'd say that was a band.
Dank, yes, but not crippy. Dank kush, I've heard, but not crippy.
Don't know any. I've never heard of any of those.
What about dank crippy?
No. That's one of the terms? Oh, wow. Okay.
That just sounds, yeah, it's just like making it up as they go along, or?
Dank.
Dank crippy.
Crippy? No, never in my life. No.
Well, I'd have to think, it's a pretty long list. I'd got to think that the kids today will have heard of at least a couple of those, so they should know what you're talking about if you refer to that list, I would think.
Doesn't really encompass all of what weed is. Like, keef is not really weed, it's just the residue off of weed. There's some confusion in the terminology, I think.
It's pretty inaccurate. I don't think people actually use these terms, and I think it's funny when governments try to impose these actions on unrealistic things they know kind of very little about, but good for them for trying.
It's good to know what they are, yeah. Especially when I have young kids, and if they say something, I want to know what they're talking about.
I don't really think you need all the slang terms. You can just talk to your children directly and they will understand. And a lot of those terms are probably cultural or regional, so they might not apply, but if you just talk to them about what it is and the effects and answer whatever questions they have, then I think you can address whatever concerns you have.